Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Ranked Play with Matthremar. We're kind of sticking around the 150 rank vicinity. I think a lot of that'll sort out as we progress into the season. Right now, there's a lot of chaos since it just reset this morning. We're going to run the same build. We will be changing this soon just because of the new Power Stones. This is obviously not the final concept, but Berserk and Execute are going to be a big deal. So I'm obviously going to be changing this a lot before I actually run it. But I just have that there to inspire me and to look forward to those Power Stones. Okay, but we're going to stick with this for now, and we're going to run a few battles. Let's see how we do. Brutus. All right, Brutus, let's take a peek. Okay, we got some very healthy units. Lots of 11s and 12s. Looks like 110 in there. That's the Cannoneer. Cannoneer shards were kind of precious over the past 2 months. It seems like less people are requesting them now, at least in my clan. Okay, we've got a lot of plague bearers up front. That's mostly just to slow everybody down and apply debuffs. We've got the okay, we got a frost wizard where okay, I'm not seeing a barrier monk unless it's hiding in there somewhere. But we have two ranged DPS units with the hammer throwers and the archers. And we've got fire knights in the back instead of plague bearers, so that's an interesting setup. All right. Something, just a bit of an issue that I have with some builds, and honestly, this his build's working for him. I may complain a little bit, but it's just when you've got plague and fire, they're going to compete with each other. So when these fire knights get up to the front and start hitting stuff, it's going to take the plague off. And when the plague bearers hit somebody with fire, it's going to take the fire off. So kind of conflicted there on the debuff that he's working with. He hasn't picked a debuff artifact, so there's no real preference there. But using the banner, what he's looking to do is to maximize the power of the Mind Corruptor and the Cannoneer and the Frost Wizard. Yeah, and again, he's got the Frost Wizard. So now he's got Plague, Fire, and Frost. And he's also got the Mind Corruptor, which has Mind Control. So when he Mind Controls my units, he can't apply any of those debuffs. So I'm a little perplexed. I don't know why he has one of every debuff, but you know what? He's what is he now? Rank 184. So hey, he's doing all right. That's nothing to balk at. So yeah, but it's all engineered around creating a protective barrier around that core group of units. And it seems like he's looking to hold out for Frenzy when the Cannoneer and the Mind Corruptor and the Frost Wizard are going to really sing. I don't know. I give myself a pretty decent chance at this. The biggest complication for me is going to be those entangling roots, because those seem to slow me down more than even units of plague bearers and whatever else. But yeah, going up against whatever else this guy may be going up against, looks like he's got a pretty solid grouping with good defense around that core area. Let's see. The Skull of the Necrolord is going to benefit the Plague Bearers, the Fire Knights, and I'm still the Cannoneer as well. But I'm still kind of confused about the Mind Corruptor. If anybody knows, if you'd remark in the comments whether or not a mind-controlled unit, if it makes a kill, does that count as a chaos kill? And does that potentially spawn a skeleton? So if anybody knows that, please feel free to comment below. Okay, let's see how we do. It's enough chatter for that one. Boop, boop. There we go. So yeah, plague bearers aren't going to be an issue for me. I've got the paladin, so that's something I don't think I've commented on. My build kind of maximizes a lot of the resistances. The ECs have a penchant for being mind controlled at higher health, and then when they're lower health, they're very resistant to the mind control. The Monster Hunter has the shield, which prevents him from being MC'd unless he gets hit by a Frost Wizard or stunned. And the Paladin kind of helps to keep the plague off, and the Eternal Champions are immune to frost and fire. So it's a very resilient build. Yeah, so I mean, again, I was kind of perplexed about all the different debuffs in there. You're kind of fighting your own army at that point because you're gimping the units that are applying debuffs, and you don't get the benefit from that. It seems like Traplight's trying to funnel everybody into a demon. Let's see, isn't he one of the developers, or is that just somebody using his name? So yeah, Traplight seems to be trying to head us towards more cohesive faction armies. But let's have a look at Demund here. He's got 2 untamed beasts, 1 set of wolves, a giant toad, 2 druids, a stormcaller, and a frost wizard. So he's got that frost wizard way back there so that the untamed beasts don't go nom on him. And yeah, just other than that, it's completely nature-based army. So he's got the toe, the nature artifact, and the pendant of everlasting winter. So those are excellent choices for how few units he has. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 11 units right now. And with the toe at level 3, that puts him just over the cap. When you have less than 11 units, you get a heal. So the moment anything dies, everything gets amped up by about 70%. So one of those wolves go down, and boom, his entire army catches a heal. It gets stacked with 70% attack power and health, and goes from there. The nature artifact, he's only got level 1, so I think that means he has to have below 25% health on any of his nature units for them to get the attack speed buff and movement speed. So is this the first nature army we've done? I think it is. So yeah, that's why I feel like I need to explain all that, because we haven't really been up against very many nature armies. And that's something to be said. Presently, we're still waiting for people to start getting their Berserk and Execute Power Stones. Once they start accumulating those, you're going to see a lot more nature builds. But presently, yeah, you don't see too many nature builds in the top 1 to 200. Okay, so how I think this is going to play out, his Untamed Beasts are right smack there in front of my army, and his Druids are way the heck down there. I'm probably going to shred those beasts quickly, and then just go down and hope that I can catch his Toad before he gulps too many of my Eternal Champions. Frost Wizard, he may complicate things slightly if he hits my Drummer and my Paladin. The Monster Hunter, yeah, if he hits that too, that'll slow down how fast I kill the UBs. I think I've got this one. Again, he could totally take me. Just depends a lot on how things play out, where things move. But I think I've got this one. But yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, yep, the UBs went down fast. Now my Frost Wizard is... Oh, okay, he's down. That Stormcaller chained through and got him. But now I'm kind of on a steamroll. There's not much left to stop me here. So yeah, there's that. Again, I think there's a lot of reasons why you're not seeing a lot of nature builds right now. But yeah, they're just not performing well until we start to see some more of those power stones show up. Okay, this looks a lot like Crim's build from the other day. We've got the Plague Bearers, meant to act as a point of gravity that sucks you down in front of the wall. Then we should have a toe and Arcane Reconstruction Hammer for artifacts. And that's going to make it to where when the Spider's Nest hits the Draining Spirits, it pops you up and down over the toe threshold, which will heal everything. So you kind of have to wait for all of the plague bearers to die for that heal to start popping, just because just that one unit of plague bearers puts you over the threshold, not including anything else. Okay, we've got... another note about these builds is that you will sometimes see very low-level spiders' nests. Part of the reason for that is because smaller or lower-level nests spawn fewer spiders. So you can kind of cater where you want that threshold to be, because your threshold is static no matter what, depending on your artifact. You have to cater your spider's nest to accommodate your artifact, so that what you usually have left at the end pops you up and down over that to get those heals and keep those walls fully healed. My expectations for this... I don't think these unit levels are as powerful as what Crim had the other day. So I have a better chance at winning this one, but this one is also very powerful against my build. So we'll see how we do. Sorry for the text messages there on my other apps. Just you can tell I'm loved. Somebody loves me. Okay, well, yeah, the walls went down pretty fast, but I'm still getting shredded pretty hard. Oh, wow, okay. Boop, boop. That was very close. I almost had that. So, clearly the unit levels make a huge difference there. I almost had that one. And I've gotten those before where I've actually made it all the way and taken them down. But, yeah, that build just gets me like 90% of the time. Okay, we have Lemon. We've got Risen Warriors in the back. That's to counteract some of those corner builds, catch those Arcane Archers. I don't have any Arcane Archers, so I'm not terribly concerned. We see the Unholy Trinity, the Primal Warhorn, the Skull of the Necrolord, and the Devourer. So we are aiming at having a lot of corpses to feed that, and I don't see a whole lot of corpses. Those wolves are baffling to me. I'm not sure why we have wolves. They're not chaos units, and you only get 4 bodies. If somebody's got an idea why those wolves are there, please let me know. We got our 2 sustained range DPS units with the hammer throwers and the archers. You see that a lot, where there's just one of each. I think part of the reason for that is not necessarily a function reason, but a shard reason. It's a lot easier to get one of each of those to level 12 than to get 2 of one of those. Okay, so we got Fire Knights up front, Wraiths, those confusing wolves. We got our Death Knight with his buddy, the drummer, right beside him, and a Barrier Monk. So yeah, I've got a few issues with this. I've already mentioned a couple of them, but I don't see enough bodies. Where are the bodies? I mean, you've got to either provide him on your side or my side. I'm not going to provide him with a lot of bodies. So he may not even get to his Devourer. He's at level 1. We'll see how we do. I think I'm going to get this one. If he had more bodies, his Death Knight has a much better chance of surviving. The fewer bodies he has, the better chance my guys have of getting that Death Knight. So if the Death Knight survives longer, I'm going to be in trouble. But if I can get to that Death Knight quicker, he's going down. Those Wraiths do a fantastic job of taking out one Eternal Champion at a time, but they also can get hit by my Monster Hunter's AoE attacks. They're a little bit further behind than some of the skeletons and ghouls usually. Yeah, I think I'm going down. The Death Knight builds get me a lot of the time. But again, I'm just so confused. Why so few bodies, and why the wolves? But hey, you're up here for a reason. So apparently you're doing all right. Okay, let's go again. A&T Inc. Okay, we got a squad. Got a hero build, Titan builds, or a squad. I call them squads. Okay, we got 2 artifacts. We've got the toe and the crown, which is typical for squad builds. We've got our cannoneer and our toad. Those seem to be the variable units, because in most of the squads you'll see the Eternal Champions, the Monster Hunter, and the Paladin. Those and the drummer. So that's kind of the core, and then you can variate around that. I've gone with the Frost Wizard, but I've also used Ember Fiend. I've also used Mind Corruptor. I was even using Tree for a while, and it worked very well within a certain range. Like I didn't actually get out of the 200s with that, but for the time being, it worked all right. Once I discovered how effective the Frost Wizard was, I dropped it. So, well, Ember Fiend was better than Tree, and then I dropped Ember Fiend for Frost Wizard. Okay, issues that I'm going to run into here is that Toad. Everything else is not terribly concerning. I find that these can go either way, just because it depends on who's standing where. I've got a lot more ECs, so sometimes it works out better for me because they wrap around one of his ECs, and he's getting hit by more of them, which drops him faster, and then I kind of wrap around with a flank and take out builds like this. But again, it could go either way. He's got a toad. If he eats half of my ECs, I'm probably toast. So let's see how we do. Okay, my Frost Wizard just got hit by a Thunder Strike cannonball from that cannoneer. Okay, yep, Toad is eating my dudes like crazy, so he's eventually going to have the number advantage, and I'm going down. There goes my Frost Wizard, so I can't freeze his Monster Hunter or his Drummer or his Paladin, which means he's got the full use of almost all of his units. You'll see some of his units stunned just because I have the toe to level 3. There's a stun benefit to that. Okay, well, we're past our target of 15 minutes for this episode, but those were some good fights. We had some interesting stuff to talk about this time because we didn't have all of our Snow Globe Mind Corruptor builds like we usually do. All right, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to help me build the channel. We're working our way towards those 1,000 subscribers. It's going to be a little bit of a journey to get there, but thank you for all your help. If there's a build that you guys would like me to try, please feel free to submit it in the comments, and I'll see if it's something that I can work. I've got a pretty healthy level on most of my different units, so I may be able to replicate what you want me to try. All right, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. We're going to be foregoing the ranked play for maybe the next day or two, unless I find some spare time to do it, just because we've got a raid coming. So we will see you soon. Thanks.